So this was a pop-up emitter. I always tell people don't put these grates on. These grates trap a lot of organic material. The trees love that. They love that high nitrogen that they release. This thing was just trapping in a bunch of tree seeds and tree buds, things that will not come out of a grate. You need a pop-up for that. The tree found this fitting, and man, like, my guys took it apart. So what happened was there was a hole drilled in the bottom of this fitting so that the water could leach away. Well, the tree loved, it never got cleaned. So when there was a buildup inside, it couldn't drain.
If your pop-up emitter is discharging water near a tree, the big shade trees are the worst. If you're within 50 feet, it's in trouble. What we do in a case like this, we'll take a piece of copper fabric and we'll go ahead and put pea stone around our pop-up emitter, but we'll make sure we encase it in copper fabric. Now you can see I'm really working at trying to get the roots out of this fitting. This is an old pop-up that somebody put a 4-inch grate on. Never put a 4-inch grate on your pop-up emitter. It's going to hold any tree buds and tree seeds, some organics that get through, even a leaf filter. It's going to hold it in, and it's become this really good organic material that has a lot of nitrogen and a lot of nutrient. Trees seek that out.
Pop-up 101. When pop-ups first came out, all pop-up emitters came with a PVC Schedule 35 fitting. That was it. This is a standard sewer and drain 90. It's a standard fitting in PVC Schedule 35 thin wall. The pop-up emitter then would go inside the hub. Our pop-up also fits inside PVC. If it's a PVC system you want to build, this is what you're going to end up with. The problem is when you glue this on, how do you leach the water away? So people want to drill holes in this fitting. I don't endorse that. You're going to weaken the fitting. People will also take a saw and they'll cut lines in here to get the water to leach away. I don't endorse that. Again, it weakens a fitting that's already very brittle and can crack. Now, the other thing about PVC is it didn't have enough rise right here because they're using a fitting that already existed. It costs way too much money to make a custom tool, to make a custom fitting just for pop-ups. One questions one's sanity if they do so. We'll get to that in a minute. All right, so to make up for the shortcomings of this rise, we came out with an HDPE riser. Lawnmowers can run over it. It can flex and move. It doesn't crack. It's not brittle like PVC. It's fantastic. You just slip it on, no glue, nothing, tight fit. That's it. There's your riser. We were doing everything we could to overcome the downfalls to the PVC system. We don't care for drilling holes or saw cutting lines so that this would leach out and not freeze up in the winter. You don't want it to hold water. You have to build it to leach for sure. We went ahead and we built an HDPE fitting just for pop-ups. That's it. You don't have to drill holes in it. You don't have to saw cut it and hurt its integrity. It'll flex when lawnmowers run over it. Oh yeah, the rise has already been figured in here. Rise has been increased. If we're going to make a custom fitting for a pop-up, we might as well get it right. This rise is not enough. By the time you put dirt on here, there's no room to grow grass on here. You put dirt on here, now how do you get the sod on here? It needs to have a higher riser. We went ahead and built a special fitting for pop-ups with the rise built in. Oh yeah, our riser still fits it. Why not? Because if you're really deep and you need to get to grade, you need a good high-density polyethylene, won't chip, won't crack, won't break riser. This gives you 2 inches of lift, and you can keep stacking them and go as high as you need. Anybody's pop-up emitter will fit in this fitting that has been made for pop-ups. Now, we like the corrugated pipe. It's strong, it's flexible, it doesn't crack, it's not brittle. We don't tape right here. That way we don't have to drill holes and hurt the integrity of a perfectly good fitting. Now, another thing you might notice, this fitting is on a 90-degree angle. Well, they're using something that's for plumbing, so they have to. We made this just for pop-up emitters. You can see it's not on a 90-degree angle. We're cheating a little bit. We want the water to come flying out of here and carry all the tree seeds, anything that might have been on the rooftop, any kind of pollution. We want it out of here. We want a self-cleaning pop-up emitter fitting, and that's what we built. This is ramped right here, and it just sends the water, and as you can see, it's an 80-some degree fitting. It is not a 90-degree fitting. Now, in order for that to work and tree roots to not come in, we've been cutting this fabric that has copper in it. What we'll do is we'll take a piece of fabric, cut it, lay this right where the pop-up goes, over dig the hole where the pop-up goes, lay this inside, then put some pea stone in there, and then lay your pipe and your pop-up fitting on the pea stone that's on the copper fabric. Roots will not grow in your system. Trees do not like copper. Copper is a poison to trees. Now, we're not going to kill a tree. Trees, nature just has a way. The roots are going to go in another direction. There's going to be copper ions that are released into the soil. It's going to keep the roots out of your pop-up emitter. It's going to keep all the tree roots out of your drain system.
I eventually free this fitting of this wig of roots, but a section of copper fabric would have been all that it took to prevent this.
So there's not even a hole, but you can see the root and then how the root cracked this. See how this is cracked? The root got in there and then the root started growing. But whether this was done by the manufacturer of this fitting or the contractor, there's 3 areas that were just cut, so that water could leach away. Nobody ever checked it. Nobody kept an eye on it. You never want to do this anyways. Never use this for a pop-up emitter. You always want a pop-up where the lid will open up. You can get your hand down in there. You can service it. You can clean it. Over here, we got a pop-up. This is what we use. Not only does it have a big plate so the grass can't grow over it, but this one you can get your hand down in. It'll pop up and let tree seeds and tree buds and any debris out, so there's no buildup inside of it. There's a little bit of maintenance, but one thing that you have to be vigilant about when it comes to downspout systems, pay attention to the discharge. Pay attention to the discharge, always. If you're not discharging the water, doesn't matter how good your system is. Everything's going to fail.
If you enjoyed this video, give us a thumbs up. It supports the channel. If you have any questions regarding this installation, leave them in the comments section. I'm your host, Robert Sherwood, and until the next video.